Hey guys, so you just listened to Bear in There by Shel Silverstein, and I wanted to kind of go over the poem with you before I let you do some practice on your own. So the first question I'm going to ask you is going to be the same as what I asked yesterday, which is who is the speaker of the poem? Okay, who is the speaker of the poem? Is the speaker a polar bear, a refrigerator, or a little kid? Well, I hope you understood that the speaker of this poem is a little kid, and the kid is imagining that there is a polar bear living in his or her refrigerator. So let's go ahead and take a look at question number 1. And question number 1 says, read line 3. So I'm going to jump over to line 3, and it says, he likes it 'cause it's cold in there. Well, what can we understand about the polar bear? What can the reader conclude or understand about the polar bear in this line? Is it A, that the polar bear is friendly, B, that the polar bear is comfortable, C, the polar bear is perilous or dangerous, or D, the polar bear is hilarious? Well, the polar bear likes the refrigerator because it's cold, and polar bears generally live in cold climates. So the correct answer to this is going to be B, comfortable. The polar bear is comfortable in the refrigerator. All right, number 2 is saying to look at lines 5, 8, and 10, and to look for the alliteration in these lines. So line 5 says, and his face in the fish. Well, what's my example of alliteration there? It should be face and fish. Jumping down to line 8, he's nibbling the noodles. What's my alliteration? Nibbling noodles. And now jumping over to 10, he's slurping the soda. What's my alliteration? Slurping soda. All right, so now I'm looking at these 3. Face fish, nibbling noodles, slurping soda. And what is the function of this alliteration? Is it A, to highlight the way the polar bear eats? B, show the preference of food the polar bear has? C, emphasize the extreme peril or danger that the speaker is in? Or D, state the speaker's conflict with the polar bear? Well, face, fish, nibbling noodles, slurping soda, that's all food, right? So we can automatically eliminate D and C and looking at A and B because those are talking about food. So are we talking about how the polar bear eats or what he's eating? All right, so face in the fish, nibbling noodles, slurping sodas. Really, that's actually telling us how the polar bear is eating. He's eating like an animal, which I guess he is, so that makes sense. All right, let's go back to line 10 up here, and we're looking now again for onomatopoeia that the poet used. So he's slurping the soda. Which one of those words is onomatopoeia? All right, it's going to be slurping, slurping. Slurping is this sound. It's when you go like this. Okay? So, what effect does that have on the poem? Why did the poet decide to say he's slurping the soda? Is he A, trying to show the size of the polar bear? B, highlighting a sound that the polar bear makes? C, emphasizing the dangerousness of the polar bear? Or D, expressing the concern the speaker has of the polar bear? Well, this is kind of simple. It's onomatopoeia, which is always about sound. So the poet is using the onomatopoeia to highlight the sound that the bear is making while he's drinking his soda. Okay, last question, and we're going to focus on a line that creates a tone of fearfulness. Fearfulness. So that's full of fear, meaning you're scared. All right, so which line is going to create fearfulness? A, and his face in the fish. B, nibbling noodles. C, letting out a roar. Or D, that polar bear. Well, look at right here. We have roar, which is also an example of onomatopoeia. So if I opened up my fridge and I heard a roar, that would probably scare me. So the tone of fearfulness is going to be from the onomatopoeia roar. All right, so now you guys are going to have a couple more poems that you are going to do on your own. Be sure that you highlight the alliteration and the onomatopoeia for those, and then you're going to answer some questions just like these about those poems. Take your time, look up words that you don't know, and do your best because this will be for a grade on this last 6 weeks. All right, good luck.